Hello, hello. Setting some stuff up. Drinking some highball. Hello, everybody. How's it going? As we say in Texas, howdy, y'all. Thanks for tuning in today. We're gonna work on some more PetsBeHonest in just a little bit here. Dahlia Coast, Adventure Co., what's going on? Looking forward to deleting more code. I hope so. I hope we delete a lot of code in the stream. I think anytime I delete code, our code base is better. But you know, best way to not have bugs is to delete the code that would cause those bugs. Hello, hello, Dahlia Coast. When is a sticky rice stream? I don't know if making sticky rice is that exciting, but I'm happy to try doing a food stream. Maybe if Dahlia Coast, maybe she wants to host that. We can co-host. How's everyone doing in quarantine? Getting delicious Uber Eats this week? Just gonna send out a little tweet right out here to let everyone know that I am live, and then we're good to go. We'll be writing some VueJS today. Oops. Which is a front-end JavaScript framework, which I'm sure most of y'all know. So we've been slowly working on migrating our PetsBeHonest health tracking app from a Fire-based backend to our own custom backend written in Django REST framework, Python framework. My partner Brian, who's in Australia, who's probably just now waking up. Morning, Brian. Good day, mate, as you people say. So he worked on rewriting the backend. Now I'm working on integrating his API back into our front end code. And as part of that work, we're also doing a little bit as some design improvements. So my wonderful wife has been dabbling in Figma. Brian says, I'm coming online. One second. Sorry about that. So my wife has been dabbling in some Figma and put together. Ooh, sweet. Thanks for following. Some Sweezy. Much appreciated, Connor. Looking forward to some game night on Friday. Gonna take out some humans as an alien. So we are working on this new at event screen. We worked on that in previous streams. We have a functional version of that. And then today we're going to finish up some work on the events overview or the calendar screen. We're actually not going to we're not going to adhere to this mockup really. But the general idea is that for every day we have an event, we're going to put some sort of indicator there, and then we'll have a list of events underneath. So we actually worked on this a bunch yesterday. Oh man, comply. So this is where we left off yesterday. So the calendar used to have a line for every single event. Now we're just showing one for each day. And we started, basically we deleted a lot of code yesterday. That's really what we focused on. Let me pull up the code. Slim Sweezy, we should do some Rocket League streaming. Are you allowed to do that? Sweet. Yeah, maybe this weekend. You can show me your skills because I'm pretty noobish. All right, let's pull up our code. So today, one of the things I want to focus on is cleaning up these card styles a little bit. So we're just going to get rid of the titles for now. Eventually, we want to have categories, and the categories can show up here in the card titles maybe. But for now, we'll just print the time, and then maybe in the card, we'll also show the image if there's an image available. I think that's a good goal today. We also want to, this page doesn't have an idea of what your pet is. Oh God. So we need to fix all this. Oh, sorry, I swiped too far. So we'll want to hook up the understanding of your pets, and really maybe this logic should live outside somewhere else. Maybe there should be a route guard that prevents you from navigating to a page if that page requires you to have pets. But for now, we're going to try to fix that up. So I think there's a really easy way to do it because we already have. So first thing, let's just go ahead and get this notification out of the way because it's pretty annoying. Before we can do anything, we need to get our dev server up and running. So with Quasar, all we do is type Quasar dev, and that gets our Webpack server up and running. And while we wait for that to build, we'll search for this UI. Add pet. All right, so if there's no current pet and no current pet name, so if somehow you had a pet but it was in a bugged state, then we're going to show this UI. So how do we get current pet? So what we can do here, just to shortcut this, is we're just going to get in our store, we have a list of all your pets, and we don't allow you to select a current pet right now. So we're just going to say, oops, we're just going to say, do you have any pets? Or rather, we'll just get the first pet. I think one thing we probably want to test here just to make sure we have valid JavaScript. Oh man, this is a lot of errors. Why don't we clear our console here? So let's say, oh wow. When you run the Quasar dev command, it'll automatically open up the project for you. We'll go ahead and close out that. So let's just test something here. So if I have var bujo equals an array. Well, we'll do more traditional JavaScript syntax. What happens if we try to access the first item of that? Undefined. But undefined's okay. But what if we try to do this? Error. Okay, so this explains our logic here. So if not current pet, so for some reason current pet was set to null or undefined, or if current pet is sent to, it is defined, it's an empty array, or is something other than null, then we need to make sure that it actually contains the keys that we want. So now let's log in and see if our change works. To all y'all who are hitting that midday tiredness, I know I'm very, very sleepy this afternoon. Today has been a little bit of a struggle. Highly recommend some Highball. Good, clean energy. Really gets me going. Nice little pick-me-up. I usually start the morning off with about 3 cups of coffee. And by 3 cups of coffee, I just mean one Yeti cup. And then I do the Highball later on in the day. Change it up a little bit. All right, so we're going to log into our user Topcat. We will go to events. Our events load. However, our new logic looks like it failed us. So we'll have to check that in a second. Do we get errors? Cool. So we have a couple errors we want to clean up that are unrelated to the changes that we made, but we should go ahead and fix those. So we can see in this call stack that in page calendar, we have this property or method index that we're referencing, but it's not actually used in anything. So what's going on here is this, I know exactly where it is because this is code we worked on yesterday. Shameless plug. Shh. Working on my sponsorship deals. I don't have all the cool connections you esports folk have. You know, it's awesome to see like Mountain Dew, Red Bull, and Monster sponsor a bunch of streamers and esports and tournaments. In fact, watching Beyond the Summit, some of their tournaments were sponsored by Monster, specifically the Monster Java line of drinks. And so when quarantine first started, I bought a variety pack of Monster Java so that every day for 2 weeks I could have a different Monster Java. It was pretty good. But really, at the end of the day, they all kind of taste the same. I know, I think Grant Blitz swears by the Swiss chocolate one, but they are all pretty much the same, and they're all delicious. But that's a lot of sugar for not very much caffeine, so that's why I prefer the Highball energy. And it'd be awesome to see Highball, or even like Starbucks. Man, Starbucks cold brew is mwah. I'd love to see them get involved in sponsorships. I can't function without their caffeine, so I'm very thankful for them enabling people like myself. Okay, so I knew exactly where the problem is with this index. Basically, this used to be a loop, a v-for. And in that loop, we were saying get the key and the index. But now it's just an if conditional. So we can just delete this key. We don't need this anymore. It should just work. What does our console say? I should clear my console every time. Otherwise it gets way too noisy. All right. I'm just gonna log some One thing I like to do is if I want to log an object, I'll just create, and if that object isn't assigned to a variable already, it's some sort of chained object, I'm going to assign it to a constant. So in this case, I'm going to send it to my pet. And then we can do console.log. And if we want to dump the whole object and be able to expand it and collapse it, we can do this cool curly braces syntax, my pet. And so we have to do it that way, because if we do this instead, it actually fails. It gets mad about this. This is not support. Oh, sorry. If we do this, that is not supported. All right, so let's refresh. Cannot read property. Let me get this error over here for you. Cannot read property name of undefined. All right, so our store does not have pets yet. Oh, did I somehow get logged out? Let's try this again. Interesting. So I'm getting an error. What is that error? So our user info endpoint is not returning some data, so it's concerning. Do we have a regression somewhere? pets/API/v2/user info. Oh, do I need to pass in the user's ID? Okay. So this is a list of routes that it supports. So in this case, it's saying that it's looking for the primary key. So if I'm user 2, we want to pass in user 2, and I don't think that's what we're doing. So I'll need to take a look at that. What is pets returning? Pets is returning data. Cool, cool. And then if we use our handy view tools, we should be able to look at our store. So it says we have pets. So why is this not working? Oh, I know why. So if you can see here, this is a dictionary, I believe. Yeah. So this is the ID of a pet. So what we'll want to do, let's open up our store. So I'll do Control E. Pets. So list of my pets. This dot state. Can I do this? I don't know if I can do this, but let's try it out. Listo pets. this dot store dot state dot pets dot oops. Oh man, that is not what I meant to click on. I need to get rid of some of these console logs. List of pets is undefined. What I probably want to do is properly include let's see if I can find an example of this. So do this map getters. So we're going to do this map getters up here. And we're going to do pets. Oh. And then we should just be able to computed current pet. This dot list of pets. I'm confused what the error is. Does it come from calling an object that's not there? Yeah, so basically there's two issues that I ran into. So one is that this doesn't make sense because I'm treating this as a traditional array, but this is actually, this key here is the primary key for a pet. So I don't want to do this. And then I was trying to do like a hacky way of accessing our VueJS store by doing this .store.state blah 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 blah. And so I don't really want to do that either. So to get the list of pets as just an array, we have this helper. So we go to store pets getters. So the way that we store your list of pets by default is as a dictionary with the primary key as the key on the dictionary. But if you want it back in array form, so just all the pets that you have, then we have this little getter function that does that for us. So then we now import that into the computed section of our VueJS page, or of our Vue component. So map getters, pets, list of pets. So this says go to our pets module, VueJS module, look at the getters, and we specifically want this getter, list of my pets. And I'll probably have to import this if it's not already. Map actions, map state, and map getters. Cool. Again. I think it was more about how I was trying to access the getter. I don't think you can do it the way that I was trying to do it, but let's find out. Cool. So yeah, so now list of pets. Now that we did it the proper way by importing the getter, now we can see our pets. So then all we should have to do is then and then it should work. Yep, and the little dialogue went away. Yeah, so basically I was trying to access the getter using this format here, which I don't think I'm doing it right. Instead of trying to figure out how to do the wrong thing how to do right the wrong thing, I just went ahead and switched to doing the right thing. And then I want to get rid of so I'm only we're gonna want to remove all these console log statements for production, but while we're still debugging things, it's very helpful to have. But now our console should be a little more clean. Yeah, so now this is the page reloading. So now we can see that on whatever day this was, there are 6 events. And then on this day, there are 1 event instead of all the empty events that we were getting before. Cool, so let's commit that change. Hack current pet. Woohoo! High five, very nice. What is this? You need to oh, that is not what I want to click. Okay, so that's one thing fixed. The next thing, let's work on these cards a little bit. So, by the way, Control B will open and close this bar on the right side, or Command B if you're on a Mac. And one setting I really like, so if you press F1 and type toggle sidebar position, so the default VS Code installation, the sidebar is on the left. But myself and many other prefer it on the right side, and that way when you Control B, it doesn't move the code. It just kind of like covers it up. Whereas if it's on the other side, see how everything moves? So my eyes are like having to like shift, and my brain has to reparse everything. But when it's on the left side, I don't have to reparse anything. I just keep looking at what I'm looking at. It's pretty nice. VS Code tips. So now we want our event card. So Control E to bring up a file picker. So we're going to pick this event card file. So right now, so we have this Q card, which is this thing over here. So normally we would show an icon if there's an icon, and then the title and the pet name. So we're currently showing the pet name, but there's no title. So instead, we're just going to do this timestamp. And maybe we'll use a default icon. So I think I wrote one down, no add. So we do oh, that is not much better. I think the text is too big too. Let's look at the inspector. That is huge. Ooh, I like the thinness of the H2. So I think maybe we want to check Quasar's docs. So we'll go to quasar.dev. We'll get started. And then, let's see here. Style identity, typography, all sounds about right. Cool. So I like the thinner style of the H2. Should we just do text subtitle 1 maybe? Let's see. Oops. Yeah, I think that's too big. So we do text subtitle 1. Yeah, I think that looks a lot crisper, right? Woo! Thank you, G859, for the follow. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for helping me build PetsBeHonest, a health tracker for your pet. In this case, we are building it for my girl, Cheyenne. She's pretty cool. So working on cleaning up our list of events in the calendar view here. So we just reduced this font size using Quasar's built-in heading stylings. So we went from using, I think, H6, which is a little too tall and a little too thick. I love my thick fonts and all, but not the right place. So now we're going to switch this subtitle 1. And since these are classes, they don't have a semantic meaning from an accessibility standpoint. It's important versus like putting an H6 or an H5 or whatever here. All right, and then I probably want to get a different icon, and we want to get rid of the subtitle. So I'll get rid of the subtitle first. Goodbye. Bye, Felicia. Man, why does that look so big now? Oh, it looks big because I edited it in the Chrome Dev Inspector, not the actual code. So lesson, always remember to make your changes in code. That can definitely cause some confusion. So if we wanna get a better icon, let's material. Note. Should we do an event note? Is that better? Event note. All right, I think that looks better. What do you think, chat? Is that better than what we were working with before? There's some weird spacing issues here. So yeah, so I want to add the photos in here as well. I guess you're right. I guess we could add that to the header. So you're thinking like a pet avatar here, and then maybe have some sort of photo here, or you have to click into the event to maybe see the photo? I'm gonna just figure out why the lines aren't matching up. Yeah, I understand. It's, so what Havocy, my partner over in Australia, is talking about right now is instead of having these icons here, we can put either a thumbnail of the event itself, of the picture associated with the event, or we can put like maybe the pet's avatar. I guess if we're not going to use the icon, we can not worry too much about that. So, should we put the pet avatar? Unfortunately, I don't think our Figma quite covers this. So this is the calendar view that we had before. We don't really have, so we have this over here. So this is that new add event screen. So we already have a version of that. So maybe, I mean, maybe we can borrow some of this, right? So maybe we can have a thumbnail. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah. So I think for now we'll just go ahead and instead of doing the icon, we'll just put an avatar of the pet. And if there was the one on the bottom right, down here. Oops. So the oops. Yeah. Yeah, but the avatar next to it. Okay, so let's get that avatar hooked up. So I think so we pass in the pet name. Let's go look at our event. I'm gonna pull up the inspector. I'm gonna look and see what we have access to already, and then see if I need to fix up some stuff. So page calendar, queue page, event card. So what do we have access to in our event card? All right, thank you. Havocy Brian is going to do some Figma work to get us closer to what we want for these cards. So there's what I'm thinking about right now, what I'm trying to solve is these cards need to know information about your pet. There's a couple ways we can do it. We can either hook them up to the VueJS store, or we can make them stateless, and that they get state passed into them from their parent. In general, that's what I prefer for something like a card in particular, unless there was some reason that it needed to maintain state itself, but it doesn't. So we can just pass state into it. So I think what I'd want to do is instead of doing this pet name, I should just pass in the pet object and then be good to go that way. So let's look into doing that. So if we look at pet underscore name, I need to see. I haven't cleaned up some of the duplicated logic. Instead of doing pet name, pets, state of pets, event of pet. Okay. This is the problem with having all this duplicated code, is I don't know which one is the right one. Whoa. Worry about that different day. So now in our card, we should be able to do a little avatar here. So let's look at the dashboard. So we just grab this code from the dashboard. Maybe we'll do oops. Do a VLs here, and then we can do a so we kind of need two views. We like want this is the like preview card view, right? So you can really quick scroll through all the events on a day. And then we need the like, oh, I want to look at more detail at this event. I want to edit the event or change something about it, right? So we don't quite have those. Cool. So if pet image, then we'll show the avatar. Else we'll show a little icon. So why? What is going on? So this card is an event which has a pet, which is a pet image. So this should be there. Something is not right. All right, let's refresh, I guess. We have some bugs in our auth that log us out when we refresh, or rather, don't correctly use the right token. Okay, now we're getting legitimate errors, so this is great. So property or method pet is not defined on the instance. So what am I just delete all this. Goodbye. Oh my god. Of course. Event.pet.petImage. Silly me. It's always something simple. Cool. maybe show some sort of thumbnail of the image. Let's look at Quasar. Their card documentation. Just see what they got going on. Do they have any good examples we can borrow from? I mean, if we wanted, I guess we could do something like this. Maybe that's a better way to go. Yeah, let's... Which, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So let's delete all this. Here, I'm gonna commit these changes real quick, and then that way we can easily roll back to them. Let's commit early and often. So event card. Changed a bunch of things. Yep. Removed unused code. Cleaned up title. And then you want to make sure you push it so it's on the server, and that way if your computer blows up any second, all your code is still there and you can install it onto the computer and get going again. So what we want here is the image is going to be, so we put the colon here this is a view convention here, so we're v-binding the source attribute to event dot event details dot event image. I don't remember. But because we put the colon here, it's going to evaluate this as JavaScript, whereas if we deleted this, it would be interpreted as a literal string, which wouldn't really do anything for us. So let's put that there. Oh, yeah, this error is because right now we have two roots in our template, two cue cards here. So I need to finish hooking up the other stuff before we do that. Oh, Brian! Hey, hello. You can hear. All right. Do you want your voice live on stream, or do you want to? You're muted right now. Okay.
We'll see how it goes. Good. I was just trying to cause the calendar views looked really good. I was just realizing as I was going through the Figma stuff that because we have this view that we were trying to make, and I like this idea of having the icon or profile image as part of it, but I think Like if we just have a bunch of images, it looks sort of redundant, and maybe that's not what the user wants. And I think the Figma has like that user experience more thought out, where you just have like each date and then like as the pills, and then have all of the events. So if we go back to the Figma page and just look at how Arissa designed this, because it's pretty nicely done. The thing that we have is we have this events section that's on there. And then we have like the dates lined up, which is good. And then next to it, we have everything that happened on each of those dates. We don't need to know the times, we just need to know that date. And then ideally, when you click on an individual event like that, then it would show like the Twitter window looking thing that we showed, like where you actually enter the event. But we don't have that screen. But for now, for this screen, the one we're working on, just if we can just make the events look more like this, where it's got each date and then each event next to the date. And even if right now it's just, I guess that's the problem, is every event would be the same, but if we just mark that there's different things on those dates, like, yeah, I don't even know. Even if like for each date it just has like a note preview, maybe. I'm not sure what to put. Instead of run, Benadryl, brush teeth on October 31st, I don't know what to replace that with, but like with our current implementation, but it should be, but I like the simplicity of that versus if we look at our design, like what you've got, or the one that you currently built,
Yeah.
it's got,
Sorry, let me get it working.
it's hard to do it with screen shares because the logic here is really good. Like, but maybe, so yeah, maybe that's what the focus is. But if we could do, just have that come out like more as an accordion thing, so we just don't have like a bunch of pictures.
I really want to be able to like scroll quickly through a day, right? So like if I click on the 14th and I want to like see what happened on that day, I want to be able to like see that pretty easily,
Right.
with like some level of detail somewhere between, you know, I don't need 4K images and everything, right? But like at a glance, be able to remember what was going on, and then if I need more information, I can click into stuff. So that's the problem with the mockups for me, is that this works in our old world where we were like category first, but in the new world, you know, we may not even have some sort of category, right?
Yeah, and it rely more on the pictures. I see what you mean. Yeah, this doesn't take like a, like in this one, our idea is like that the index would be more like visual instead of these things, we'd see a picture of it, or we would just see like there was like an event that happened at that time. That makes sense. Yeah, so that layout problem is hard then. I guess the way that is there then.
Let's see what this new change looks like. It might be god awful, but
yeah, I find that like when we try to, like, I like having the designs as a guide. I mean, I think doing design first, but now that it's so in the woods, it's really hard to pick the right design while you're in the thick of, when you're in thick of logic, you know?
So event details, event image. So we have event details, event image. So why is that not working? I might have to. Pet. Here's that old. So many.
Keeps pointing to the logic of the login needs to be fixed.
Yeah. I totally did not mean to click on whatever it was I clicked on. What is? Okay. Yes, I'm confused as to why I'm not seeing errors. Okay, there we go. Well, that's expected. So what if I just put an image here?
My blank camera is taking up like a eighth of the screen, by the way.
Oh. Whoops. Let me fix that. Oh, Rainier Bear. Thanks for the follow. Let me fix the zoom. My camera being missing. It's because, gosh darn it. Like, it collapsed itself. There we go. So, it should show up. Where'd you go, Zoomy Zoom? Interesting. So what if I pin this? Does that fix it? Does not look like it. Sorry, fixing camera issues real quick. Window capture. Create new. Zoom 2. Oops. There you go, I'm giant. Cool.
And yeah, it looks the same.
Huh?
I think. Am I actually like showing? Maybe.
No. I haven't here. There you go.
Ah.
I didn't click transition.
Ah, there you go. There's Burton.
Mm-hmm. So, there you go. There's Brian.
It's alright. Seems backwards.
That's funny. Okay. Let me pull up. Okay. So, I was just realizing that I think most of our events don't have images. No, that shouldn't be the case. Are we not uploading images correctly? Oh, I broke something too. Yeah, why? Why is it not printing out? How many times am I going to do the same thing? So this dot event.
Because like most of the images are going to be null.
Nope. So it's because I'm stupid.
Event details. No.
No. I was using abbreviation. Oh, sweet. So now, how do we scale this down? Q image. I just want to make you small. Let's see here. Ratio alt basic contain position. So we can set a width and a height. So let's say just see what that does. like broke. Oh my gosh. How do I get back the where I can like pick my phone and stuff? A device type? Is that? No, it's not what I want. Reset the defaults. No, it's not what I want. Weird. I totally broke
Is
this.
it that light gray bar?
This?
Yeah. No, no, down. That.
This?
Is it that?
This
Yeah.
this makes it responsive, but like normally I can pick this specific device.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Oh well, that's fine. Actually. No! It's still like this. Wow. Okay. That's frustrating. So do you think, I mean, I don't know, maybe this is fine. No? I mean, I can upload real pictures. Maybe that's more helpful. Are you muted?
Yeah, I think the load times like might suffer a bit, like if you load those, or does it load the same amount, like regardless of the, if you just show thumbnails and the other ones, does it load the full image anyways and then make a thumbnail?
Yeah, right now it's loading the full images, but we can have it do something different.
Yeah.
Or have
Well,
like a setting that can turn this on and off, I guess. I don't know.
not sure. Like, because I think this is good for like a view of everything, but like if you're just saying, I want all the images for one day, does it just show one day then? Or is the behavior right now, it just shows everything?
So what we can fix is right now when the page loads, it loads everything, or down here it loads everything.
Yeah.
But we could just have it load for the current day, and then if you want to, pick a day, then that way we're
Yeah,
only
I
loading.
think like having the images and stuff like gives a bit too much. It's kind of a, ideally it's like just a strip, like a Twitter feed. So we just have to make it more like a feed. Um, but so I guess in that sense, we probably need to put it inside some sort of box and then put it next to it, right? Like the image needs to be in its own box that forces it to be a size, and then it's next to the date, which just fills up as big as it wants to be. Like it needs to be like a row with two items or something. Is that how it is right now?
I'm not sure I follow.
Well, like with a HTML layout, like if you do like, you have like a row, and then, in this case it'd be image, text, and it'd be a row of two things. Like if it was Bootstrap, it'd be like you'd have like, 1/8 of it being taken up by the image. If you look up like
So, so,
Bootstrap rows.
so you want two columns. So you want the image on the left and the text on the right. Is that what you're saying, or?
Yeah, like so using the grids. So like the image would be on the left, and then, or is this sort of the intended action? Is it supposed to take up? Is that what it's supposed to look like with the image overlaid with the date grade? Is that what you're going for on this?
Yeah, I was just looking at whatever the quasar.
Oh, that was their way
Uh,
to have an image
that was just
group
like
together.
how they do cards with images. Like we don't
Oh, right.
we don't have to do we don't have to use their card component, and we don't have to do, even if we do use their card component, we don't have to
I think like
format it that
event
way.
feed would be the way to go on this. Like, because that's how I was thinking it. Because this is sort of like the event feed. Like, if that's what we're interested in seeing, we want to see it
Mm-hmm.
like a feed. Like if you're looking at your Twitter feed, you don't want to see the actual images unless you actually click on the image. You just want to see the little tiny image and what people said about it.
Okay.
But I guess I just misunderstood when you're making it. Like it looks Like it looks fine, but that's like what I would expect to see if I like clicked on it or something. I'm gonna look it up too. Quasar event feeds. Whole lot of beautiful pictures of quasars.
I'm sure. Timeline. I don't think this is. Actually, this isn't too bad. Hmm. So yeah, there's this timeline thing. Yeah, I think the problem with the images, if you're worried about like performance, is that no matter what the size of the image is, it's still loading the full image because we only have the full image. That makes sense.
I'm looking at activity feeds and it's not helping.
I think Vuetify might have a good take on an activity feed. Let me see. Components.
Oh yeah, they do. Like in their dividers thing, they've got some good stuff. So if you just look up like components dividers.
Dividers.
Yeah, I'll post the, where's the window? I'm in full screen. Here. Post it in chat. There.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know, just that idea with like at least it has a layout, but that's what I was thinking, like that the layout would be at least for they might be too small, and maybe that's why you went the other route.
I mean, this might be fine.
But you could probably, I mean, the other thing you could do is you could like split it, like where you have the header, which would be the date, and then right below it you have all the text for it, and then you can make the image a bit bigger. You could kind of go somewhere in between. Because I think these thumbnails, you end up with like these little things on a phone that you couldn't see anyways. But not saying it was right, at least, but that
No, no, no. Yeah,
encapsulates what I was saying.
Yeah.
Or because I think it was sort of lost in translation.
Yeah, no, no. I'm definitely like, if we go to. Oh, so this is like the bigger cards. Okay. Not what we want.
Oh, I see what you mean. More the Facebook style, less the Twitter style. Gotcha.
Well,
if that's the look you're going for, it's fine. Like as is, it's fine. I guess the date to me, that date is really funky. Like I feel like I'm a computer when I read.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I haven't formatted it all. It's more just there to be there.
I guess I should say like Monday and then the date or whatever day it was, because you're gonna think days of the week when you think of this stuff. Usually, I think. I mean, wouldn't you? I don't know.
So I mean, yeah, maybe we just copy Twitter and do like the pet avatar, the pet's name, the date.
On the right side of it. Yeah, because you really don't need to know that it's 2020. If you're looking at the years in history, you're in the wrong place in this app, right? Like,
Or you're in the right place, but you kind of know where you are, right? Like,
you would know what year you're in.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay. I can get behind this. All right, I'm gonna commit this just so that we have a record of it.
Yeah, no, actually, like, even this might be fine if you just get rid of the 2020 on everything. So that every line has something different. But every line on here looks the same because it says 2020-04 over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Um,
All right, commit this and format date.
okay.
That'll be a day.
Experiment.
It reminds me of this. They just released the new Blade Runner on Netflix. So
yeah. Is the new Blade Runner any good?
like that response.
It's pretty,
It
right?
was a long time ago when I saw it. Like, it was fun. Like, I mean, has what you expect. Like, I think the new Westworld is probably better. I don't know. Like, because it's more like in line with stuff. Like the problems with like these old paradigms that were built in the 80s and 70s or whatever is that like there's a lot of stuff they didn't know then that they knew now. And then when they try to make a port to like 2020 or 2018 or 19, whenever it came out, like smartphones weren't a thing when they thought about it. So like it's really hard to make a smartphone better. And like if you look at the smartphones back in these sci-fi movies from the 80s, like they look like really crappy phones. And so like when they try to make that into a modern looking device, it like doesn't. I think that bugs me like a lot. Like the technology they use from these movies that were obviously thought about before they had, you know, flat screen computers.
Yeah.
And then when they try to port it, they like somehow make what they had in the previous movie make sense in the new movie. Like it kind of kills the vibe a little bit. It's like this is our futuristic humor, like user or our futuristic hero, and he's still using a razor phone, thinking that he's like the coolest person in the world.
Is this better? Or do you want the full?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there should be a time though after.
Okay.
I think because like if they're all the same date, we just need to have some differentiator. But like, I don't know. Date time formats I think are. And can we spell
yeah.
What was I thinking? What did I do? At this point, this is where I always get like, we should punt it to somebody else. We should ask Arissa. Arissa's the design lead at the stage.
Yeah, I think so too. I think what we did today was good in that we kind of came up with a couple different paths to go down, and then we'd be like, okay, design lead. you make the hard decisions.
This black hole that we're in.
Yeah.
Because it's just it looks better, but I don't know. Especially when like I keep looking at like all these like demos and like these passes like for like video games and things like this video game in a good enough state like and then like people are very nitpicky about these things or when you're looking at it for a final state you're like all right, this is launching, we get one pass at this is what it's got to look like versus launching this, which is like, well, does it just work? And I mean, yeah, it kind of works. Like, is it usable? I don't know. Like, I mean, I think this is just showing that there needs to be another screen somewhere, or like people need to use it in some way.
Well, that's what, like, as I'm looking at these cards, like, I'm trying to think through, like, what is going to be the most helpful for me. Like, maybe not having any images is fine. Like, I don't know. Oh yeah, there's this,
I,
that Aptera that I was using. What do they do?
I always felt like, the scroll going through is good, but like it should be something that you click on and, it's interactive. But yeah, again, like I think it, I don't know for sure, but that looks way better. I definitely like the date better because now we see like, should we have yeah,
Hmm?
yeah, the date's fine. I like how in the Figma design, like if you look at it, like with Arissa's design though, that it's grouped up though. And that's why I think like
Oh, the
if it was
timeline
just thought about,
views.
yeah, with the timeline of events, like grouping it together is nice. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if this is meant to be, because I thought that this tab that we're making here is more like something that should be in the recent activity feed or something. And I don't know, but it just seems like it's like too much in one place, but I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, I think like recent activity would probably borrow some of the components, but the idea is like you need a way to view any of your events, right? And so like this is the
And then whichever date you click on, like, is what comes up there, is it? Or how
yeah.
does it work right now?
Uh,
So like if you click on one, does it just show the 14th? Or if you click on the 7th? Yeah, nice. See? That's really good.
yes.
And,
Go ahead. Sorry.
and then what's the default? So the default is it shows everything
Yep. Which we probably should just limit it to.
today.
Thank you so much for the follow. Is it Duck Gaming? Uh, yeah. Yeah, so when this page loads, it loads all the events. It displays them down below. But maybe we just want to limit it to today, or just to, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, again, I don't know. That's why we got to get it in a user's hand, see what they do with it. And
yeah.
like, but I think this is good enough. Like, oh, we'll stick with this. This is pretty good. And then the default is, I guess the problem is if there's no pictures with events, you end up with a bunch of avatars all over the place.
Let's see.
And I think that looks funny.
Why aren't you swiping, you jerk?
Maybe we should get rid of the avatar thing. Maybe that was a bad idea. And just have like this strip on top without
So,
it.
yeah. I kind of like what this Tiro app does. I probably, oh, hello, Maya. So in Tiro, how they like display their images and stuff in their timeline, and I like that in their app you can like tag multiple people in an event. So it's like, oh, this is an image event with Burton or Cheyenne and Arissa, right? So it's kind of interesting.
You gotta make it full screen. It's too tiny.
I know. I can send you a picture, but
All right. Well, I think that's a place that I gotta sign off. I gotta.
yeah, same here. Time to wrap up.
Here.
But I'll get with Arissa and maybe we can circle back on something. So.
All right.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Later, Ryan.
Somebody hasn't been fed cereal yet.
It's important. Important.
CPS is
matters.
gonna get involved. I'll see you.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Yes, Duck Gaming. This is indeed a Vue app. It's actually using a framework called Quasar. So we go to quasar.dev. We're using this Quasar framework here. They have a bunch of reasons why you should use it. One of the reasons we used it is because it allows you to really easily build a progressive web app. What is a project about? So if you go to PetsBeHonest.com, you can learn a little bit more about what we're up to. But essentially, we are a health tracking app for pets. Oh, awesome. Cool. So my dog Cheyenne got diagnosed with Cup's disease, which essentially means she gets chronic mouth ulcers. And when she got that diagnosis, she was only, I think, 2.5 at the time. And the vet was like, yeah, we'll probably have to pull all of her teeth. And my wife and I were like, this doesn't make sense. She didn't like just randomly get this. There's got to be something causing it. So that set us out on a mission to start documenting everything that's going on with our dog. and working with a variety of people in the community and other veterinarians to try to figure out, what's changed. We moved homes, and in our previous home, she was fine. So when we moved home, she got sick all of a sudden. So what are we doing differently? Is it seasonal? Is it when she eats grass? So we wanted to create an app to do that, and we have grander visions beyond that. So we want to help you understand the costs of owning a pet and maybe ways you can save money. Maybe if you go to a different vet in the same area, you can save some money. We want to create a community of people who can help each other and support each other. Yeah, Cups is not great. Having to pull a 2-year-old's dog's teeth out is not lovely. But it's great. It gives us purpose, gives us a mission to come here and build something that hopefully will add a ton of value to people. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for checking it out. So the current beta that's available today, so if you click start tracking here, this is it's so bad. This is written in Firebase. So these are a mix of actual events. So like this brush teeth and squirt. Breath is a little smelly, but energy is 120%. So these are real things that we were tracking, whereas some of these other ones, testing Bujo time, these are fake events. No, I wish Tailwind and Laravel. Another project of mine, Wave CE, is using Tailwind and Laravel. As you can tell, it's very Tailwindy. If we actually go to the app. Yeah. So another project I'm working on with another set of friends is Tailwind and Laravel, and I love it. But going back to PetsBeHonest, we are using Quasar and this website. Yes, this website is Tailwind. Good call. Sorry, you have good eyes. But it's using GridSum. It's a static site generator. Sorry. Yeah. I love Tailwind UI. I definitely pre-ordered it or purchased it as soon as it became available. Yeah, Adam Wathan and Steve have been huge inspiration and great motivation to get out and start doing my own projects. Definitely makes everything easier. Yeah, this I built this long before Tailwind UI was even a thing, but it was so awesome just to go to one of Adam's example pages and copy and paste his HTML, and boom, it just magically works. I don't have to write any CSS. Very, very powerful. Unfortunately, though, you're tuning in at the end of the stream. I got to wrap it up here. I got some other things I got to go do. I'm going to be streaming at least 2 days every week, probably Monday and Wednesday, from 2 to 3 p.m. Pacific time. And then I also plan to do some gaming streams and some cooking streams here and there. So stay tuned to my Twitter, SPTonjon, for that information. What else? So yeah, just to wrap up, today we focused on fixing a bunch of bugs with the calendar view here. We hooked up the concept of whether or not you have a pet, which decides whether or not we trigger some error messaging. We took a pass on these cards here, restyled those, hooked up the images, and then had a big debate about what these cards should actually look like. So that's always fun. And hopefully next time I stream, our designer, Arissa, my wife, she'll have made a decision about what some of this stuff should look like. So for your cooking streams, are you going to send out ingredients before if people want to join in? Wow, Connor, I like the way you think. Big brain Slim Sweezy. I wasn't planning on it, but definitely we should try to do that. Maybe we can even tweet out a picture of the cookbook or something. So, my wife isn't a professional designer, but she enjoys designing, and just enjoys learning Figma. So it's really great to have this opportunity to collaborate and build stuff together. So, and I love working with her. I worked with her for several years at our old company, Valve, and then now we both work at two different companies, and it's very sad. I miss working with her every day. So I'm glad to be able to come home and have a side project we can build together. But Connor, Slim Sweezy, I will definitely talk to Arissa and see if we can come up with a planned stream with a recipe ahead of time. All right, everybody. It has been fun. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your support. I'm so close to affiliate status, so you all really helped me out today, big time. Thank you so much. Stay safe out there, okay? Thanks, fam. Peace.